It's time for another recording of Pokemon Fun League Season 10. It is a shorter week, so no broadcast, but you get a few recordings here by your guy, me, former champion, El Zubador, Joe. Joined as ever always by nobody as I do these recordings here. So we've got a big match. Dylan and Jim here. Jim, fresh off a loss last week from Lebo, looking to get a little bit back in the action here. He's got Mew, he's got Rillaboom, he's got Mega Altaria, Tentacruel, Steelix, and Spiritomb, taking on Dylan, who could use a win. A win would be very good, and when you look at his team here, you got Lando T, Rotom Wash, Shiftry, Sylveon, Machamp, and Del Fox. That's a pretty good-looking team right there. We'll see how they stack up against one another as I tell the competitors, go for it, boys. So, right off the bat, Jim has had a bit of a season for himself so far. 3 wins plus 17, which is, as some may do the math on that, considering the best you can win a game is plus 6. He has won 2 matches plus 6 and 1 plus 5. This is a rematch of the week 1 battle between Jim and Dylan. So Dylan has a loss to avenge here as well. Mew has been the deciding factor in a lot of these matches, and I think with Shiftry here, it's got that sucker punch that could very well cause the issues. Delphox as well, naturally faster than Mew. Has access to a good Shadow Ball. Could be an option here. Altaria starting things off. And Rotom Wash here. Mega Altaria. It'll do, it doesn't want the Scald, presumably, if this is a Dragon Dance variant, which, kicking things off. If Altaria's coming in, I would assume that it's more for... Well, actually, I don't know why you'd send a Utility Mon in to start, too, unless you're scouting. I don't know if Altaria gets U-turn. I forget. I had it, but I could not tell you off the top of my head if Altaria does indeed get U-turn, because it could just be in here to come in and leave. Same thing for Rotom here. You come in with the Scarf to scout, you hit your Volt Switch, which you go from an... Oh no, not even Volt Switching, just going straight to Sylveon here. A little bit of... Alright, Sylveon's Physical D, not the best. That is definitely a physical... That is physical. Pixely Body Slam doing a pretty decent amount here. Let's see what's on this team. He's just letting Sylveon go. That's not what you want in turn 2, but this is kind of what you got to deal with here. Into Lando. Naturally faster than Mega Altaria, I believe, here. I don't know what the... what your play is here necessarily, because obviously Lando's D. Pretty decent. I don't know if he's going to just straight up go for the nuke here. Steelix will take the Supersonic Sky Strike if that is what he is going to give. I'll just into Spiritomb. A little bit of U-turn. Okay. Lost his Fairy, so I guess you're just going for potentially pure damage at this point, which Rotom could certainly do if you're slamming those Hydro Pumps. It could be easy into Rillaboom here, given that it has the wonderful attribute of resisting both of these stabs. With no hazards up here, this could just be a Volt Switch as well, because with this early game, I mean, obviously if you're Steelix, you don't want to switch into a Hydro Pump. That's a pretty big... That's a large assumption to make, I would say. So, no, going back into Altaria here. Oh, the Z move on Rotom. What are we getting here? Z Sunny Day. Okay. Okay. Alright. Does Rotom get Solar Beam? No. What is he setting up here? Delphox? Chloro? Are we... Is this Chloro Shiftry? Why would you use Sunny Day there and not normal Sunny Day? If you weren't going to use the speed boost. Oh, it's not my decision to make. I do not know. A little bit of Psychic there. Crit Psychic, doing a decent amount, and the Special D drop. There's the Q. Well, you better have Chloro on Shift Tree, which presumably that is why it is coming in here. What is the thing that walls Shift Tree on this team? Tentacruel doesn't want to come in. Steelix might be decent. Can resist grass at least. Everything you got is neutral. Rotom had the Z Crystal, so you got 2 turns of Sun here. I'm pretty sure Shift Tree gets Chloro. It seems like something that it would get. I'm just trying to follow along at this point, ladies and gentlemen. Go into the mind. Let's go into the mind of a Dylan here, of a Night Host, of a... whatever his team name is. Caught in a second here. Not sure if I remember. I gotta look. Oh, Rojo Rabbit, of course. I could look at the icon, which is above the window and XSplit, which I probably should have looked at first. Rojo Rabbit versus Zero to Firo, of course. Leaf Blade. Okay. Alright. That's a Life Orb, then. You get the... Do you have a knockoff? Like, obviously you get a Sucker Punch as an option, which you should have for Mew, and if you lose that, I'd call, it might be worth calling it. Spiritomb coming in here. Dark still neutral. If you got knockoff, you may as well slam it. I don't know, is he going to Willow you here? No, debond. Okay, well, you're faster. So, or now you might not be. So, do a little Swords Dance. Here's the Willow. Okay. Thought that was coming, so that essentially, that's just a negated turn, almost. Probably worth Leaf Blading again here. It did how much the first time? 45? That's after burn. That's a... He's not in Custap range, certainly. You probably don't... No, he's just going for another Swords Dance here. Now the D-Bond's up, so... He's just, fuck it, you Swords Dance again, I guess. These are still Sucker Punches that are going to hurt. Oh, Sucker Punch and Sucker Punch. I don't know how much Sucker Punch is going to do. Or are they going to be in a pissing contest now? Sucker Punch versus Sucker Punch. I mean, with the burn damage you're taking, you gotta attack. You're not faster than... Your Spiritomb's not faster than you, certainly, so you don't have to worry about him debonding in your face. You may as well hit Leaf Blade, and what happens, happens. Knock off. There goes the Focus Sash. Oh, and you got Life Orb, that's right. You are really... The minutes are ticking away on Shift Tree here, so Mew is going to hide in the back for as long as possible. And I do not blame Jim for that being the case here. Tentacruel coming in might not be a bad idea. Not the slowest Pokemon. Tentacruel's sneaky fast from what I remember. Could be faster than Shift Tree. Could probably take what would ostensibly be around a +2 Sucker Punch here. No problem. I mean, it is a special defender. No, Steelix coming in. Not a bad idea. Neutral Leaf Blade here. Probably not enough to kill, given that big D. The big old D. But I don't think you're going to leave. 65. Yeah, that sounds about right. A little bit of Heavy Slam, and he's gone. Okay. If you have a Scarf on Lando... which we might assume that is the case. Obviously, sending Rillaboom in here looks like especially if he's Scarfed, then he's locked into Earthquake and he needs to leave. And, no, okay, letting it happen. Now Rillaboom comes in, because obviously Tentacruel does not want any of this. Mew could very easily be packing Ice Beam. A lot can happen in this match still. We don't know what kind of set Machamp has. I think this feels like a fairly... Now, you don't know that Lando is Scarfed. It was the only thing that it used when it came in is U-turn. That is... So, my assumption is Lando is Scarfed to get over Mew, especially when you saw Rotom with the Z move. Mew coming in here? Do you want to hit EQ, do your damage, and get Ice Beamed to death? Is that worthwhile? What is your answer for Rillaboom? He's doing it. There's the Ice Beam, and he's gone. Okay. Exactly as expected. There's Machamp. Does Machamp get Sucker Punch? What is the option for Machamp here? Because unless it's a Sash, this one's going to be a close one. No. Oh, wishful thinking. Wishful thinking. That seemed very odd to send Machamp in there. I don't know what the play was in a Rillaboom. And now your question is, what do you have for Rillaboom? Which I believe the answer is nothing. A little bit of Toxic, a little bit of Woodhammer, and whoop! That's how it goes. All right, Jim getting himself a nice +3 win here, a nice middle of the road win, bringing himself up to 4-1 +20, which is nigh impossible to catch. Dylan going down to 2-3 +8. The season is far from over. 4 matches left. There's a lot of room for Dylan to make his way back up, but as it stands, Jim firmly in the 1 seed across the entire league with that +20. Well, I say firmly in the 1 seed. The other people with 4 wins currently have the bye week, so I guess technically his win percentage is below 100%, so maybe he's 3rd seed, whatever. He's doing well. That's all that matters. Thank you again for showing up to watch this recordon and have fun out there.